Introducing your hosts from Collingwood, Ontario, Canada, Jack Edwards and his partner from Dallas, Texas by way of Port Arthur, Texas, Big George. Together, they are the North-South Connection.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to 5 Count. We are the North-South Connection. I'm Jack Edwards, and you know who that is. That's Big George. George, how you doing tonight? How's things in Dallas?
Interesting to say the least. At this current moment, outside of my residence, there's a live chopper trying to take someone down, stating to come out of their vehicle or whatever. So me personally, he ain't looking for me. So I'm good. But that's what's going on in Dallas right now. So hey, hopefully they get him, I guess, and we can all be safe in the area that I live in. But of course, just a very interesting night to say the least. How are things in Canada? Is it cold there?
Cold. It's cold. It's cold as hell. But
no dice.
George, I think your Wi-Fi is a little
I'm hardwired.
Hello? Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm hardwired.
Well, I don't know. I keep you. All right, then it must be. I don't know. Mine says it's fine, so.
We here.
I am not sure. Oh, well. We're here. We'll keep doing it anyway. Nonetheless, so George, it's cold up here, but that's all right. We'll get warm talking some wrestling tonight. What a topic! We're heading into Royal Rumble season. It's upon us. I always liked the Rumble. I remember a group of guys. We always used to get together, and we used to bet on the Rumble. It was the only betting I ever did, that I ever do, and it was actually pretty good. I won the pool, but so we had like however many guys. I think it was like 6. So everybody got 5 numbers, put in $20 or whatever, and the corresponding number. So if I got number 25 and he or she won the Rumble, I won the money. And I won it quite a bit. A friend of mine, I think Cam, who was on the podcast with us, he didn't win it for like 10 years. I think the year Alberto Del Rio won, he had Alberto.
I would never vote on the Royal Rumble. That's
love the Rumble. It's the classic, and it's coming up again. It's like a few weeks away.
A few weeks away, yeah. Like I think Rumble time of year always kind of sparks a lot of good, returns, debuts. They have a lot of storylines that go into the Rumble as well. So always something to kind of look into. Always something fun. I always love the fact that you can kind of see some of your favorite wrestlers from yesteryear take the ring and, just kind of give you a little bit of nostalgia. But then sometimes those storylines get a little bit big. So, Royal Rumble time is always fun. It's always a good time to pivot from things, kind of start new things, shed light on other things. So it's Rumble season, baby. Yeah, we locked in. I'm excited for it.
Well, I guess we're talking tonight. I like tonight's topic. It's about the Royal Rumble returns. So those people, like, it seems like every year, or at least for a number of years, there was always somebody come back who hadn't been there in a while, or somebody who hadn't been, or who was making a return. And so we're going to talk about those ones tonight, George, and who are some of our favorites.
Absolutely.
But this is like, I think this is the first in like a number of shows where we talk about the Royal Rumble, because I think we're going to do the best Royal Rumbles and like Royal Rumble moments leading up to it.
The series of Royal Rumble shows that we have coming up, I feel like are gonna actually play a good part in actually what comes up as far as the Rumble. There's gonna be a lot of different topics that we can kind of cover as far as some of your favorite returns, like we do tonight. Because tonight, I think just kind of in the sense of us coming back to the show, this is our big return. This is the second show of the year, second show that we've actually been back. So why not do returns tonight? So hey.
So George, I guess do you want to kick it off? Kick it off. We'll start it. I mean, the top five Royal Rumble returns. Who you kicking it off with?
I'm kicking it off with an emotional one. Because for a while they said this guy was not going to wrestle again because of his injuries. And of course, everybody kind of loves a good story as far as being able to come back and wrestle. But after his, return, it kind of made everything kind of skyrocket, and he kind of stayed in the ring for a while. And I'm talking about in 2020 when Edge came back into the Royal Rumble, shocked the world because I watched the Royal Rumble for years at that point, and of course there was excitement when somebody returns, but there was never that feeling of I feel it like this.
Mhm.
So when Edge returned, I was just like, okay, I have that boyhood feeling again. He was told to never wrestle again and the things like that, and I was just like, it kind of shocked me. It was like
Mhm.
one of the real big shockers that kind of actually worked out real well for me. So loved every minute of it. I think Edge in 2020 is where I start off this list.
Sorry, my connections are dropping. It must be that. I loved it. Yeah, like I remember when he came back. That was some big time stuff. Like a big surprise, big pop. So George, I'm going to give you my first one is Diesel when he came back in
Diesel.
2011.
Okay. Okay.
Remember when he
Love
came
Diesel.
back and like the place just popped, and came back and he put the glove on, and it was just like it was a perfect, and it was the only time he came back. I think Kevin Nash came back when he dyed his hair. So
Yes.
I
His
love.
hair was jet black. And I'm like, brother, you could have left a little bit of mystery to the fold. A little bit of something. He looked like, a commercial. It was great. Like he came, yeah, like when you say he came back with the glove, everybody was just so ecstatic to see him because I think that's the first time they seen him come back as Diesel, actually, and not Kevin Nash or any other persona. It was actually Diesel in the Royal Rumble. So very, very
The
fun
Diesel.
time. So I love that. I love the fact that he came back when he did. It was just kind of, a little bit of the nostalgia
Yeah,
feel.
I
It kind of
one
gave
of my
a little
favorites.
bit of everybody. Like everybody kind of loved it. So yeah, I think that's one of the one of the better ones. Um, but I gotta keep it rolling. I gotta keep it rolling. Some of the greatest WWE, Royal Rumble returns come from some of the greatest superstars. So I got to throw this name in the hat. As much as like, in my mind, John Cena is one of the greatest superstars of all time. It's just like he has a Tom Brady-ness to him. And in 2008, I always fresh off an injury, some of the best time that you can come back from, you know, uh, any injury is coming back into the Royal Rumble. John Cena wasn't even supposed to be there. It looked amazing when the doors open and you see John Cena sitting there as the 30th entrance in 2008. And I'm like, okay, this is gonna be good because then you got Triple H in the ring, you had Umaga, like it was a lot of people actually just making the show just a real big one. So him actually, putting icing on the cake was actually golden. So I loved every minute of it.
Yeah, the John Cena return in the Garden was yeah, that was money. Great call by JR. You know, just a
JR
great
gave it.
moment.
He gave the one of those classics. That was like
So, George,
probably
I'm
the
sorry. I think
best.
I'm having hearing you. I don't know what's going.
I don't know. I paid the bill. Let me see what we got.
Yeah, I'm having trouble hearing you for some reason.
You're fading in and out.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Like you start talking and you stop. Let me see.
Yeah, I'm getting the same thing from you.
Hmm. I wonder.
Mhm.
Left, ladies and gentlemen. And now
There you
he's
go.
back.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you just fine now.
That's better. We'll try this.
Can you hear me?
Sorry about that.
Is
I
the
don't know what's
question.
going on. I can. You're fine. I can hear you again. So we'll keep going on this route and see how this goes. But I mean, John Cena's return was money. It was so good because they sold that he had the bad shoulder or whatever it was,
Yes.
and then out he came. It was great. What a great. That was yeah, it was a fantastic moment. Fantastic moment. So I'm gonna go next. I'm gonna go with Bubba Ray Dudley in 2015 in Philly. I just remember that it got a huge pop. He was, and he came back. He looked in great shape too. Bubba looked good.
He,
Looked in
he
top
was
notch shape.
he looked
So
really good. No, he looked really good. He came out there and I was like, how they gonna sell Bubba just by himself? And his pop was amazing. Like as soon as they hit that bomb drop, it was a crowd knew exactly what time it was. So I knew right then and there Bubba was gonna actually come in and have a good night. I wondered how long he was gonna stay in the Rumble because when they do the surprise returns, they don't always stay in the Rumble for a long period of time. And Bubba did a really good job that year, sticking around for a little bit, getting a little interest in here and there. So yeah, very good pick. I love Bubba that year in the Rumble.
so I love it. It was great. I love Bubba, and he was in such good shape. So we need one more. Who's your candidate for number 5, George?
In some of the golden years of wrestling that you hate so much was one of the greatest returns of all time, in my opinion. Booker T in 2011 returning against the Nexus. Good times, good times. Coming in actually not necessarily knowing that he was going to even be in the Rumble.
Ooh.
Booker was Booker was hot, and so of course with him not necessarily being in action for a while, people haven't seen Booker in a while. Him coming in like, oh yeah, the pop was great. Booker came in, did his thing, had a couple hits, did a spinneroni or two. Lasted in the Rumble a little bit longer than what somebody would say, but at the same time, kind of got eliminated a lot quicker than what people would have wanted. I would say, but he was a good entry. So I would always say Booker as my third spot. John's frozen again, unfortunately. He looks sick of my shit, if I must say so myself. Gonna give him some time. We'll be back after a brief intermission. Trust. If you're talking, you're on mute.
There you go.
There's something. There's
All right.
something.
Well, you're on. I'm going to do something. So I'll be right back in. I don't know what's happening tonight with this. This is really strange. So, George, I'm back in. We'll see how this goes.
Oh wow, you sound so much clearer.
Yeah. So I moved closer to my I guess my Wi-Fi here. I don't know. The squirrel I'm using didn't work. We apologize for this. Usually I'm on point, but not tonight. So we'll have to do it from here.
I'm
But
still here. I'm locked in, baby. No, no. But the last pick we were actually on, I had submitted my entry for Booker T in 2011, coming back against the Nexus. I mean, let's face it,
yeah.
Booker T, hotter than fish grease. Like I said, he ain't been in the ring in a while, so nobody expected it. Everybody was kind of on their toes about how who was going to be that next person because they kind of lined it up to kind of make it seem like John Cena was going to be the only person that they were going to wait for to come in. And then when the surprise entrance come off and "Can You Dig It, Sucker" just kind of hits a little bit different, especially in the Royal Rumble. So I'll throw Booker T in there. That's where it's going to have to be.
I like that pick. I'm good with that. I got a couple honorable mentions though I want to throw out there. Definitely throw
Absolutely.
out there. Is number one is Bob Backlund in 2000 at the Rumble in the Garden.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. So definitely Bob Backlund in 2000. It was hilarious because it was just so awkward. It was so different. It's like he had the Attitude Era, all those different guys, and here comes Bob Backlund. It was just strange. And then 2001, the next year, the Honky Tonk Man. So we got to go throw a couple of the old boys in there. So
Absolutely.
the
Absolutely.
Honky Tonk Man and Bob Backlund.
Bob Backlund and the Honky Tonk Man, I'll take that. I'll even go the year after and go Hacksaw Jim Duggan in 2012 because Hacksaw came back with the whole
Backstock, yeah.
plywood, and I'm thinking to myself, all right, so Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Let's be honest. I want to see him get in the ring with the plywood. Don't drop the plywood. I wanted to see him start to wail on motherfuckers. And guess what? Ain't no real rules in the Royal Rumble if you really think about it. So he could have came down there with the plywood and damn near won the match. But that was a great one. I'll take it back a little bit too. You'll probably love this one. 2008, Roddy Piper. Ain't nobody seen Piper in a while. So Piper definitely was one of those. He came out Looked like he was ready to fight, like good old fashioned Piper would be ready to fight. And I'm thinking to myself, like, it's gonna be a good night if they got Piper out to kind of come into the Royal Rumble. So I'll take Piper in 2008 as an honorable mention as well.
I like in 2000, I think it was 2002, The Godfather. I think when The Godfather
Yeah.
came back, I think The Godfather came back in 2002. I like when he came back. So The
Mhm.
Godfather, that's the honorable mention list. But I mean, so where do we put these? Where do we rank these, George? We got Edge, Diesel, John Cena, Bubba Ray, and Booker T. So where are we ranking these guys?
At 5, I gotta go Bubba. I gotta go Bubba at
Okay.
5. Only reason I'm going Bubba at 5 is because I just feel like the other three that come before this, because in my mind there's one supreme number one. It just kind of has to be that way. But we'll make
Yeah.
it there and see if we have the same opinion. I have Bubba at 5. At 4, I got Booker T.
Okay.
At 3,
I like that. Yeah,
I
that's a
have
good one.
Diesel.
Yeah, that's a nice fit for him too. And
At
then at
2, I
2,
have
I
Cena.
think we know what 2 should be. I think
At 2, I
no
have Cena.
way. Edge is 2. Cena's 1.
Hell no.
I got Cena
Cena
1. Yes.
Cena was told he was hold on. Cena was
Yes.
hurt.
No.
Edge was told he was never going to wrestle
No.
again. I-
Eh.
And that's
Cena's
what we
1.
disagree. How? How?
Cena's got to be 1.
How?
Cause the pop. Cena's pop was massive. It was so good. Cause no, like Edge, I kind of knew because you heard rumors. Cena, nobody had any idea. That was like out of nowhere. That's why I put Cena 1. Because I remember my reaction to both. And my reaction was more surprise when Cena came back than when Edge came back.
Are you blaming the internet? Are you blaming the internet?
I blame the internet for everything. Everything wrong. But
Mm.
I'm putting Cena 1 myself.
In my mind, I
I'm
put
putting
Cena
Cena
2.
1.
I got Cena at 2. I'm just saying.
Well,
Reason
how are we
being,
gonna
like I
solve
say,
this? We'll just
1A, 1B. The mystery goes.
well,
I think we had a
I,
gridlock because I'm like this. Like I say,
uh,
Cena was destined to come back. Even though Edge was like a rumor to come back, him even
yeah,
being in
but
the ring was
it wasn't just that Edge hadn't been back in a long time. It was just the reaction to Cena and just the whole thing. To me, I think it was just more. I loved it better. I liked that return more. Is when Cena came back.
interesting.
That's just me.
I think we're at a standstill. We got two empty guns and we're pointing them at each other. It's just this is where it's kind of is because I'm not bucking off that one. I'm like Cena was good. Like I give it to you. Cena was great. If you're looking at like just the pop itself, I mean, both of them were pretty fucking good. I mean, you can't get louder than loud. So at the end of the day, they were both pretty fucking good. In my mind, I'm not necessarily saying
Country
Cena
Boy
was.
agrees with you. See. I read the tea leaves though. I expected Edge. I had
We
heard
didn't expect
but
Edge at
that's
all.
okay. If there's an extra vote, I like the Cena return personally, but I'm okay. I'll be fine with the second. That's okay. It's
It's okay.
okay if
I'm
Cena's
not trying.
2.
Look, I'm not Kareeming him. I'm not putting him at 5. Like that's nuts. Like that's a bit much. Edge was so
And
unexpected
it
because
wasn't just
even if
maybe
the
it
internet,
wasn't that I yeah, no, it wasn't just that. It was like because you'd heard the rumor that he was coming back, but it was just like when Cena came back, like I did not see that coming. Not even that I didn't see the Edge one coming. I just remember my
the
reaction
edge
was
rumor,
so much
the edge
different and
rumors have
elevated
been
to
going
Cena.
on for
Like when
years
Cena
at
goes
that
like,
point,
"Holy
though.
shit!"
But
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like the edge rumors have been going on for years at that point. So it's like, to be honest,
That's true. They're both
You
very,
didn't
very good.
really
Very
know he was
exciting.
gonna, they didn't know, if he was gonna return this year, if it was gonna be next year, if it was gonna be pushed later on down the line, or if he would ever return at all. So yeah, you can hear the rumors, and I understand like the rumors
Yeah.
for that particular him returning was like, all right. For me at that point in time, it was like it's another year where they say he returning, where I don't think he's gonna show the fuck up, and then his music hits, and then I'm proven wrong, and America's proven wrong. So yeah, like I say, John Cena was expected to come back at some point. Now at that moment, absolutely not. Great Pop didn't really expect him to be there, but Edge, that was different. That was years in the making.
Well, it was a great return, and you know, so I mean, like Country said, there's no wrong answer. They're great returns. I think we got a good list. That's a really good list, and the surprise really became a thing. I want to throw one more out there. It's not a surprise return, but I'm going to throw it out there anyways. I don't know if it was a surprise return, but it was to me when Dick Murdoch came back in 1995. I think he was supposed to be in there, but it was weird that he was in there because he hadn't been wrestling in the WWF. So that was an awesome one for me because Dick Murdoch's great. So I'll throw that one out there for the old school fans out there. But
Absolutely.
yeah, that's a great list. I mean, I like the list. I like the list, and the Rumbles. Yeah, it's always the more exciting one. This year they're going to 40 people. I mean,
The last
I
time they
guess they
had
got a lot of
a
talent
wild,
going this
outrageous
year.
number that they had like that, they brought out everybody that was anybody. I think they brought out the Great Khali twice. That's how many fucking that's how many people was in that fucking Royal Rumble. But goddamn, no, 40 people is a lot. I think they had like the biggest Royal Rumble ever or some shit, and they had like 40 or 50 people or something like that. It's like they was pulling motherfuckers out of everywhere. They backed the truck up, and whoever ran
Was
out
that
that bitch with a uniform on.
was that the one where Titus O'Neil took shit canned himself on the?
Yes, he slipped and fell and slid under the ring at the greatest Royal Rumble ever. I was just like, all right, because he was like, for some reason, like in my mind, like for a split second, it happened so fast and so abruptly. I was like, did he do this shit on purpose? Because
Ah,
like this is like who falls and falls like I have never seen nobody fall like that before. And you have to damn near say he tried to fall like that because to fall and
I
slide
don't
under
think
the ring where only your fucking legs are hanging out is pure ingenious comedy. Cause what, bro?
that was
Like
gold.
who can do that? Like yeah, so nah, I don't know, but 40 people is definitely gonna be a lot. I think with the NXT talent and that'll be good. That'll be really good
That'd be
if
interesting. Yeah,
Big E came back
Big
and
E shows up and tosses the New Day out.
yeah, like it's about that time. I mean, why not? Um, oh, you know what?
Well,
Since we're
hopefully he
here,
can't come back.
we're talking returns. Who do you have for a surprise return this year? Throw a name in the hat. Anybody you could think of who could potentially return in the Royal Rumble this year.
Oh,
Who would you kind of say, all right, I see this person kind of showing up in the Royal Rumble this year?
oh,
And don't say
I'm
Hogan.
trying to think.
And
Dude, that guy can't walk to the ring. Are you kidding me? He's not going in the Royal Rumble. That, that's not happening at all. Um, I'm trying to think. Um, yeah, I don't know where it's in. Where is it again? It's in Indianapolis, right? Pat McAfee.
mm, Pat
Pat
McAfee
McAfee
is a very interesting spot for the Royal Rumble, and that makes a lot
from
of sense.
Indy, right? Yeah, from Indy, get a big pop, get a lot of social media reaction. Pat's a worker. Yeah, I think Pat McAfee.
Um, man, if I had to put any, I don't know, I don't know.
I got one. I got another one I'm throwing out there. AJ Lee.
AJ Lee is good.
Close to
Um,
Chicago. Indy, so it's close to Chicago. They've been talking about for a while. It's a nice spot for her to return. Perk Angle. If it was Perk Angle, yes. Not Kurt Angle now, though.
Kurt Angle,
His
no,
neck
no.
is no. Dwight Freeney.
Now you go ahead and throw Peyton Manning out there. Why not?
Yeah, I
Um,
got Peyton in there.
I have an idea. I mean, they already kind of did it. Um, what if they brought Eugene back? I doubt that would be a gimmick that would actually go over well, but
Yeah, I don't know if they bring him back.
um, maybe Mick Foley.
I don't think he's free yet, though. He's got some time. I think Tony's keeping him locked in there. So I
Mm,
don't believe he's free. But I do like I just think like AJ Lee is would be a nice return. We get a huge pop. And Pat McAfee obviously makes so much sense. I think he'll hop in from the announce desk. But other than
yeah,
that, I'm not sure. Like a lot of the old guard, they're just they're older. It's a little bit. But I think you see a lot of NXT folks come in. I think there's going to be a couple TNA people in the Rumble
they could throw
this
Jinder
year again.
Mahal in.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen.
I don't either. They could. I mean, why
I
not?
I don't
Hmm.
think they're going to put him in. Daniel Bryan, he's with AEW. I don't think they're going to bring him back.
AEW. Yeah, no, he's not coming back. Not now, not for a
But
while. So I
yeah,
don't know.
so
That'll be a thing to
but
look for this year. Is who they're gonna bring back and who makes a big return at a big splash.
Charlotte, Charlotte Flair, maybe like she might be
Charlotte
back
Flair
in the
could
Rumble.
definitely come back at the Rumble, but in what capacity? Um,
I think she's going to come back. She's probably going to be winning it. I mean, one of them's going to win it. It's going to be Charlotte, or it's going to be probably Charlotte. She'd probably be the favorite if she's in it. So I could definitely see her winning it.
I can see Nia Jax winning it again, or for the first time, if that makes her.
Yeah,
Becky's a
Becky
good
too.
spot. Becky's a good spot. I don't know. It could be a lot of folks. I think the women's Royal Rumble will be a lot more interesting this year than it has been in a while. Because of course,
Yeah,
not saying that they haven't had the talent, but this is going to be the most talent that they've actually had in a long time at the same time in the women's division, to where they can say this will make a great Royal
yeah.
Rumble for them. So, like, I'm not saying that all the
I
other
think
years weren't great. It's just this year's going to be a lot more talented.
I think the women's spot where you might see some returns, maybe Trish Stratus comes back again.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Molly Holly maybe again. Like some of the
I can see
like
Jacqueline.
Victoria. It'd be cool to see Jacqueline. It'd be cool to see Victoria back if she's
Victoria
able
would
to
be
make it back
awesome.
again.
Um,
But yeah, I think you'd be seeing more. I think there might be more surprises in the women's rumble than the men's.
yeah, and I can see that actually working out really really well going forward. Just kind of getting some more of the old women that you can kind of find in there. Um, I doubt they pull out some of the older women that were in the wrestling business before a while. They're not gonna dig out Sable or anything like that.
No. But
They're gonna
like Michelle McCool maybe again. Like
Michelle
Michelle
McCool
McCool could
might
just show
happen
her.
again. One of the Bella twins might happen.
Yeah, she
Um,
just came back. So there you go. There's more. So I think there's gonna be lots in there
yeah, no,
in the
there's
women's
definitely gonna be some
rumble.
some there's gonna be some big hype as far as the women's. That's kind of what I'm looking forward to in the Royal Rumble. Um,
I don't think she does.
I don't know. Yeah, I was like, I don't know about that. I don't
Not
know if
this
Jade
year.
necessarily wins right out the gate this year. I feel like whatever injury she has and she comes back from, it's gonna be focused on that versus focusing on winning the Rumble right now. That storyline is already kind of writing itself. I feel like.
he's got. I think she's in the main event. She's in the one of the women's title matches of WrestleMania next year. I still think she's got time that she's got to build. She'll get
Oh yeah,
there.
she gonna cook.
I have
She
no
gonna
doubt
cook.
about that. Yeah, no
Um,
doubt. Uh, but
who else?
the men's
I
rumble
think
is
the women's
interesting
did.
because like you don't know who's gonna like. Again, you have that like you don't know who's gonna win it. You don't know where they're gonna go because you got so many contenders like Punk and Roman is in it and McIntyre's gonna be in it and there's a lot of no, May's not around. May making it.
Mae Young
Unfortunately,
still
she's not
around
booked
is
on this one.
crazy.
She's not booked on this one.
No sir.
But I have been watching some of the old Rumbles on Netflix, thankfully.
Mm.
So the fun piece of trivia, I do have a signed 2x4 from the first Royal Rumble winner, Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Hmm.
Yeah, I have one. When he was up here doing a charity thing, some of the merchandise he sold 2x4s. So I have one. So, but some of the old Rumbles, it was just great to go back and relive them. I mean, 92. Like we're gonna talk about the best Rumbles coming up, like the best Rumble matches,
Mm-hmm.
and so we're gonna do that, and then the top Rumble moments. I think we talked about one, just on the show today. Like where Titus O'Neil did this, like right there. It's just,
You have
and he's such a good dude, right? You just feel bad for him, but it was what a
it couldn't
moment.
have
It's
happened
like,
to a better guy. Like, to be honest, I would love to get Titus O'Neil on the show and just ask him, like, I'm gonna be honest, man. Do you ever feel like your your Royal Rumble moment would have been something different? Because of course, now you're memorized for your feet just hanging from under the ring like Hornswoggle or some shit. So
yeah,
yeah, nah, like that's a moment within itself
uh,
that can never be unseen and never be
yeah, but
forgotten. Like if he never does
yeah,
anything else, everybody will remember him for that, and that's crazy. But
yeah.
it's a moment.
But he's, and he seems like a great guy, does a lot of good work, so that's awesome. But we're gonna have top Royal Rumble moments, but I think this was good. I mean, other than the technical difficulties, which I apologize for, that damn squirrel or that gerbil that I got running my internet, I gotta fire his ass. Um, gotta get rid of him.
I had a thought in my mind, and like it's very Family Guy-ish. So no, please throw that away. um, we definitely appreciate the people who stuck around through the technical difficulties,
Yeah, thank you
watching the
so
show from the
much. We have a
beginning to the
good group
end.
who joined us. It was great.
Hey,
I mean,
I mean, I'll take everything I can get as far as anybody coming in and listening to us talk wrestling. So, of course, we are on the Royal Rumble tour this month. The month of January is going to round out
ready
the
to
Royal
go.
Rumble tour. So the next week, we have another Royal Rumble topic. I think we're going to do greatest Royal Rumble moments or Royal Rumble
Yeah.
shows. We'll pick
I
between
want
the
to throw
two.
this out there before we go. Before we go,
Sure.
what was your favorite Royal Rumble win? Like looking back, what winner did you like? That was my favorite. That was my favorite Rumble win. Or like obviously we're gonna get to our favorite Rumble matches, but do you have a favorite Rumble winner? Like where's like that person won that year and you're like, that was awesome.
Um, let me see, what year was it real quick. Hold on. Let me make sure. Because it's one of the classic Royal Rumble winners, but I just want to make sure the year is correct because it was a specific year that kind of makes it worth the damn to me
Yeah.
in my mind.
Chris is joining us, so we'll continue the conversation. Just for those who
Absolutely.
are doing this, because you're getting a lot of people joining us, we keep talking wrestling. The list, it goes like this: the top five. We figured it. The top five Royal Rumble returns were no, 5 was Bubba Ray Dudley, 4 was Booker T, 3 was Diesel, 2 was John Cena. An argument for me, but that's fair. And 1 was Edge. That was the Royal Rumble 5. Um, I liked when Austin won in '97 where he cheated.
I
I
knew
thought
you was
that
gonna
was
say that.
great. I mean, just the ref didn't see him. He threw the guy over the top rope. It was well done. And just the whole thing where he was sitting on the top rope waiting, and it was Bret Hart's music, and he was like, just classic stuff.
Mine would be The Rock in 2000. I wanted to make sure it was 2000, not 2001. But when he eliminated the Big Show by pulling the
Yeah.
rope, and everybody kind of had the eyes for the Big Show because the Big Show is obviously one of the greatest athletes ever. So you kind of looked at him at that time. He was still, in shape, still cut. So he was a threat. He was a little bit faster than what he normally has been. His knees didn't look like they do now. But he was just like,
Uh,
you know, all full steam ahead. Like he was one of those to watch. And I was like, without like 7 people in the ring, how are you going to eliminate the Big Show? And The Rock definitely did it. Now there's the controversy about his foot potentially hitting the floor when he did eliminate the Big Show, and I remember that. Never happened.
yeah.
Scratch it. It's 2 feet have to hit the floor, sir. 1, nah, and that's questionable. So no, I'm taking The Rock in 2000.
Looking ahead to the Rumble, George. Who do you got? Who are you picking? Like we're 3 weeks out. Who do you got? Like I kind of have an idea of yeah, I kind of have a bit of an idea who I think's going to win the Rumble, but who do you think's going to win it? Men's and women's, of course.
Women's, I have.
It was a good one.
I'm
I like that one.
gonna throw in a random one. I'm gonna say Naomi. Naomi wins
Naomi.
for the women's side.
You think they're going to elevate Naomi?
Why not? Because then they can elevate her, and then of course if she backstabs Jade, then you can play with the number 1 contendership for the championship and all that good stuff. It's a lot of stuff you can do out of that. So I like Naomi just coming up and actually finally getting some shine. So I would love Naomi to win it. And then, of course, on the men's side, another curveball for you because I'm never going to sit up here and say, that I'm, selling for the one person that you're thinking about. So, as it pains me to say this, Solo Sikoa winning the Royal Rumble for the men's side and cheating his way to the top with his nice little bloodline friends. So.
Yeah,
I'm
thinking. Yeah, you're going out on that limb for sure.
Definitely.
But that's all right. So I agree with Chris. I think Charlotte comes back and wins the Rumble. I think that's going to be the thing. And John Cena on the men's side. I think John Cena wins the Rumble and goes to WrestleMania and gets his 17th championship. I really I think that's where they're going to go. And I think it's a great story. And the one thing about it is like, even though Cena says obviously, oh, he hasn't won, and that's to help build the story. Like, you can't deny the star power, right? Like, it's not like John Cena doesn't deserve to be in a main event of WrestleMania in terms of star power. What's Jay using? Super kick to put somebody out? Probably 100%. He puts somebody out with a super kick. There's no question about that.
Jey Uso is definitely one of those John's most hated because I don't know if Jey Uso could do anything to oppress you.
Here's the thing: it's not so much that I hate him. I'm not a big fan of him in the ring. Number one, but also two, anytime I'm in a chat group with or something like that, I always seem to find a really good Jey Uso joke, and that's it. Although, did you see Gunther with his promo at the end, and where he called him the company mascot, and apparently that's what Jim Cornette calls him. He calls Jey Uso the company mascot. And Gunther quoted Jim. He's like, "You're the company mascot." I'm like, "What? That's hilarious." Gunther coming in hot.
Gunther's a good.
I'm a big Gunther guy.
Gunther's good on the mic. He's good in the ring. I feel like he can be much bigger.
It actually wouldn't surprise me at all if he won. It wouldn't surprise me.
You know what?
Yeah. Sorry.
That'd be the story. I mean, if Jey Uso won it all, I mean, that'd be the story to kind of look at.
Yeah. I don't think they do that though. I think I think there's a few people that go to WrestleMania, and you got to look at who. Like I think Cena. For me, it's Cena because it's just the best story to tell. And unless like everyone's talking about whether The Rock's going to wrestle or The Rock's not going to wrestle or anything, like I still think there's a swerve coming somewhere there. And I mean, him
I
showing up
said
at the
this.
Rumble and throwing
I
people
said this
out.
a year.
I'm just
I said
saying.
this a year or two ago. We were. It was right into WrestleMania season, and they were about to go into Cody versus Roman, and you were like, they're gonna eventually put Rock and Roman or Rock and Cody in there, and I'm like, I don't know,
Yeah.
because it just seems too far fetched at this time, and I'm like, we're gonna see how it all works out as far as what can play out. Now, a lot of things have taken some turns, and the turns have actually been pretty decent as far as how the
Mm.
storyline has actually mapped out ever since those days. But The Rock actually coming back and actually wrestling would probably be one of the best things that could ever happen right now, because that storyline is not necessarily dry, but them taking a curveball and having The Rock show up and doing a little bit of maintenance in there, and then coming in and kind of putting Cody on his back would actually be really, really, really cool. So yeah, no, I'm down for it.
I just think, like everybody says, oh, he's not coming back. He's not coming back. But I'm like, he's got a more of a vested interest now. Like he owns them.
Yeah.
He bought more stock. He's got a financial interest. And I'm like, his being there does help the money. And I just think that, can you imagine like number 30, if you smell? And I was like, whoa, that would be a Rumble return. Him coming out, tossing everybody, and he goes and gets Cody. I mean, maybe that's a cool thing that I like what they do. They're doing it at the moment is
Hmm.
is that they're starting to things are really starting to they want to swerve you. They don't want to keep you like The Rock's being too nice. He's too nice compared to what he was last year. You gotta like, yeah. I don't think he's winning. Yeah, you know, I don't know what they're doing with Punk because they could do Punk and Roman. Like, there's so many things they could do, and they have a very, very deep talent roster. So, I mean, but I still think it's going to be Cena. I think that whole John Cena farewell tour thing is legit. He's a big star, and you would have Cody against Cena be like, like the two, the two top baby faces of the last number of years. I think it'd be a perfect setting. So, and I always said I'd love to see Austin as the referee for that. Because everybody's talking about Steve Austin coming back in some capacity. And I'm like, he lives in Nevada. It's in Vegas. You want to add star power as a referee? I think you could do that very well. He's in good shape. It's not like he still looks pretty good enough to ref. And he would add a lot of star power in that match. And how cool would it be at the end with like, you have like Cena, Austin holding up Cena and with Cody Rhodes there, whatever the hell they're doing. I think it'd be great.
Austin has to come back
I
soon.
wonder if Austin would be drinking real American beers. That's the interesting question.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Hey, their
We
company,
don't need
right? They
to.
own them.
Yeah.
So I heard he's going to be on Saturday Night's Main Event coming up too, which doesn't surprise me. Which I'm so excited. I want him live on Saturday Night's Main Event because I want to see what Jesse Ventura says about him. That is the one reason to watch that show. Is Jesse Ventura. I'm interested to see if he just shoots on him. They start booing Hogan, and Jesse's like, "This should have happened years ago," or whatever Jesse says.
I'm gonna tell you right
Like,
now. I watched the interview with Jesse Ventura just here recently, just talking about the union and all that, and I'm thinking to myself, like, that whole thing goes so deep that I don't think Jesse ever gonna be happy about that shit. I don't
no,
think he's ever gonna let that die, and
he's never.
I don't think he should.
Yeah, I get it, and I mean, it was like a bad thing to do, but I've said many times, like I respect Jesse for trying to get that started because he's the one guy that probably could have, but there was never going to be union happening because guys would have had boycott WrestleMania, and guys weren't going to boycott WrestleMania. Like that just wasn't going to happen. That's not the way wrestlers are were wired. I never thought a union would work, but I mean, Hogan obviously that's more something people talk about, and is he was looking out for his own interest instead of
Yeah.
everybody's. But that's the era from which they came from, right? Those guys back then did their own bookings, and so it was a different time. But no, there is still heat, real heat between Jesse and Hogan. So I want to see that play out on live television. I also think that like they should have like Hogan endorse Logan Paul on an internet video or something like that. Pretty much already has. Transfer some of Hogan's heat to Logan. He doesn't have to show up or anything, but Logan can take it from there. And I would love to see it like Gunther come out and like rip Hulk Hogan apart. That would be hilarious. That would be funny because you know he'd do it brilliantly. Just like make him look like nothing. Like there's, I'd love to see it. It'd be
I
great.
want to see
It'd
what
be
angle that you can spin for that because you definitely got to have somebody come out and hit a show's
Here-
over grandpa on them or something like that.
Here's
Like,
what if the rumor is that it's going to be Logan and Gunther. The way I thought you could do it, because you're going to turn Gunther babyface, obviously, is just have, like I said, because Logan Paul's had Hogan on his podcast. He's promoted his beer. Logan and
mhm.
Hogan, they both had the same political views. All you'd have to say is like have them Hogan do, brother, this is, the future of wrestling and the next WWE champion, Logan Paul, blah, blah, blah. Play that all over the place. It'll get Logan comes out, does a promo, says you have the audacity to boo a legend like Hulk Hogan, yada, yada, yada. I am the next world heavyweight champion. And then Gunther comes out and Gunther says, hey, we're, let's go. And, party's over, Grandpa. Hulk, you could just be like Hulk Hogan's somebody that nobody cares about him anymore. It's 2025. And I think that would be, you'd be able to transfer that heat over. So that is the interesting one. The favor is the interesting thing. Like I don't know where they're going with that. I think it's going to be Roman and Punk. I think that they've been teasing that for a while.
But Roman has to have something for it.
Exactly. Yeah, not really though. I think like they're big enough stars that I think that's a match that people want to see. And I don't know if they do. I don't know if they
Yeah,
pull it off, but I think it's a match they want to see.
that one, but that one,
And
like
I
I said,
think,
that one favor
like
got
it's a
to, it's got to have
big
something
stars.
attached to it. It's got to have something like
Yeah,
to put Punk in the ring with Roman right now wouldn't make any sense in any capacity. But let Roman have something. Let Roman take that belt from Cody, or let Roman
no.
so happen to kind of be in a title match, and Punk just ends up screwing it up. Then all of a sudden it was never about you, Roman, but now it is about you. And then that one favor kind of comes in.
Yeah, they could do that.
So
Yeah, I want a
there's
match
so
with
many
Roman Reigns.
angles.
I mean, they could. It's the
There's
only
so
place
many
they could
angles
go,
for that.
and then that's a good spot to be. The one thing we did talk about getting older wrestling is it just me, or I think they need to add new tag teams to the mix. I think they've been recycling some of the same tag teams for a long time. Not that they're bad or anything, but I think it'd be nice to have a little bit more variety there. I think seeing the New Day come back as like as heels will be interesting when they finally come back to the ring. But I'd like to see some
Mhm.
new tag teams. Of course he could have, but he's not. He could have 100%, but he wasn't going to. I mean, and that's just the way it would. That's just the way it was. But I like to see some new different tag teams come through because I got the machine guns, but they're DIY. But I'd like to see some new, different tag teams. So maybe we'll see that coming around to 2025.
I want to see a tag team be put together of two random superstars that kind of like they did with Sheamus and Cesaro for a little while, just a random
Yeah,
tag team that doesn't not necessarily work, but they work. They need that again, like the Rock and Sock connection, that random tag team that kind of makes the tag team division just a little bit more quirky and a little bit easier to kind of palate and watch. Because the Rock and Sock connection winning the tag team titles was actually like crazy because like everybody's like, oh, the Mankind and Rock working well together. Like, yeah, everybody kind of ate it up, and so I can honestly see like them putting a tag team together that's like not necessarily a tag team that everybody had an idea about, but just kind of saying
Yeah.
what they could do with some of the superstars that they have. Like, I don't know, what is Randy Orton doing? Put him in a tag team where he can,
Oh,
you know,
he'll be. I bet you he comes back in the. Isn't it? He comes back at the Rumble. I think. I think he's gonna.
hmm
I think he's gonna be involved in that Owens match.
yeah,
So
no, that's a lot of heat that Randy can draw. So
yeah,
him coming back for the Kevin Owens thing and kind of throwing his name in the hat there. Cody's gonna be probably excuse me probably feuding with Kevin Owens for a little bit, and I can see Randy coming in there trying to make him a third wheel in that whole thing, and kind of just swaying the focus. So yeah, no, Randy's got to come back and do something, but
yeah, he's coming.
like I say, there can be a random tag team they can put back together.
Yeah,
Sami Zayn can do something other than being a bloodline eventually. Um, there's a lot of names that you
well,
can actually throw out there to kind of be a good singles and a good tag team person with somebody else. So I don't know. There's like I
yeah.
said, there's a lot of people that you can kind of put into that fold, but that'll be very, very interesting if they can mix it up a little bit. Like Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton would be a great tag team in my mind.
I think
It'd
that's
be it'd be random, but it'd be something that would work.
Dom and Braun. That's like Dom's interesting. I don't know what they're gonna do with Dom, but I love me some Dom. But George, I think we got to get
Yeah,
out of here. I'm ready to. I'm gonna have to hit the hay and get to work tomorrow morning.
yeah,
But
no,
this
no,
has
we
been a
got our
great
real
show. I mean,
jobs. No, we got our real
yeah,
jobs to
we
do
got to
tomorrow.
get back to real life. But I mean, other than the crappy Wi-Fi and that damn hamster, this has been a fantastic show, and we got more
Absolutely.
Royal Rumble talk coming up. And listen, for everyone out there, I know we got some of the chat. You're out there, Chiefs Kingdom, get ready. Three-peat
Hey,
Operation
we back,
Three-peat
ladies and
starts on
gentlemen.
Saturday.
Oh yeah, and
We're gonna be
coming soon, we'll have another sports show for you guys, like we've been mentioning for a while. So we'll set that up for you guys as well to kind of see how the playoffs actually line out. And then of course we'll dig up
yeah.
some clips from the old show just to kind of reference certain
I'll have
aspects of actually being true. But of
yeah,
course, we definitely want to go ahead and just kind of, wrap it up for the week. It's Royal Rumble
yeah,
season. So if you're in
yeah,
the
we're ready.
mood, go back and start watch some of your favorite Royal Rumbles on, Netflix now. And then of course you can definitely kind of see some of the Royal Rumbles that they had at one point in time, and then, chime in on some of your favorite Royal Rumble moments or some of your favorite Royal Rumble returns. So
Yeah,
let
give
us
us
know
your
in the
top
chat.
five.
Let us know in
Share
the
us your top
comments.
five.
Give us your top
Yeah,
five. You know,
yeah,
let us know how you feel about some of the Royal Rumble returns of yesteryear. So, we're like I say, we're here to kind of make sure that your wrestling woes don't go to waste, but at the
yeah.
same time, we can keep a fresh idea on your mind as far as the new top five of the week. So,
Mm.
yeah, no, we'll be back next week with another show.
Next week. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Have a good one.
Peace.